Welcome, everyone. I'm Maddy Martin. I'm the SVP of Growth at Smith.ai. We are an AI and virtual receptionist company. We do customer engagement for businesses across the US, and we work with many small and medium-sized companies to help them engage with their clients and new potential clients to help them grow their business more efficiently and productively. And joining me today is Saenz, and she is the founder of Saenz Global. And she's going to be talking about a really important topic that does not get enough airtime, which is building a sellable, scalable business with the right back office. So we'll go through how to spot the gaps where there are workflows that might not be working for you in your back office, how to ask the right questions operationally when you are potentially looking to buy or preparing to sell your business or another business, how to deconstruct and reconstruct the scenario that you're in. So sunsetting outdated practices and rebuilding with automation in pretty shockingly short amount of time that Thais is going to go through, and scaling with clarity. So how do elite back office operations help companies grow from just a few million to around 50 million? So Thais is going to talk about how you can do that without adding headcount chaos. So welcome. So great to have you here, Thais. And I will let you take it away.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Maddie. Super excited to be here with you. It's actually my first and ever webinar. So I got to say, this is like first time epic moment. So thanks so much for having me.
What an honor.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to, so guys, those who are joining us, thank you. Have a little grace if you see some fumbling over here, but super excited to be here with you. All right. If it's okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do it. Let me get that rolling over here. 1 second, everybody. Okay, cool. And here we go. Sharing away. All right. Do you all see it?
Yep.
Can you see? I'm gonna go to my slideshow here. Okay, cool. All right. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. So my name is Saenz. We're part of the founder of Saenz Global. And I always say life is always a journey. Like all of us have a story, right? If you're watching this, you're like, if you look back, you're probably sitting somewhere where you're like, I never thought I would be here. Well, the same thing. So I don't know if you've ever met anyone that was born in a Amazonian tribe. Hello, here I am. I was literally born with the indigenous Chikuna tribe in the Amazon jungle of Brazil. My mom always says, and literally I do have pictures to confirm as well, I didn't play with dolls, but I played with monkeys and snakes. So my mom would be like, where are you? And she would find me under the hut with like, playing with snakes with a little stick. So always barefoot, still like walking barefoot till this day. And just, life is always a journey. So through life, I got to go from being in the Amazon jungle to the jungles of Mexico. So if you've ever been to Mexico City, lived in Mexico City for a few years, that is where I learned my Spanish. I say I'm Brazilian by heart, like blood, but Mexicana de corazón, so Mexican by heart, right? So love Mexican food. Oh, so good. Okay, and learned my Spanish. Then moved to the United States where I just started, life. So went through it and finished college, and throughout my whole journey, just really quickly climbed the corporate ladder, right? Just really quickly worked with some of the top Fortune 500 companies, managed international accounts, and just had a really, really successful career. And through a podcast, actually, through a literal podcast, heard them say, hiring virtual is the way to go. And it stayed with me. And then I was on maternity leave, and I was like, you know what? Let's start something virtual. So 5 months later, resigned my corporate career. Truly, I'm a corporate dropout at that point. And just people thought it was crazy, but we went live with Saenz Global. So really proud of the incredible company that the whole team and company has built. So that is what we do. We do back office for roofing contractors. Now, they say photos are worth 1,000 words. So here you are, people. Like this is truly me with the hut. This is the hut I used to live in one of the tribes. And then there's another hut as well. And I always, I was the blonde child there. So just life takes you through different adventures, right? So kind of look at your life right now, because what we're going to talk about is an adventure. It's a journey. It is choices that we make, right? And so as I say, most of us are probably sitting right where we are, and you never thought you would be here today. but there's a reason that you're here, and we're super thankful that you're here. So let's get kicked off, and I'm going to share with you what we are going to talk about today, like the main focus here. Okay. So on this journey, I want you to imagine like we're going on flight. I'm going to kind of prepare you what you're going to experience. We're going to go through it, and then you're going to land. And the landing is that you're going to have actual action items that you can take place right away. All right. So we're talking about building a sellable, scalable business. Now, this is very right now, if you're in the industry, blue collar industry, anything like that, this is very dominant right now. There's a lot of private equity, right? Investors coming in, and they want to purchase companies. And this is something that is that's very common, right? And even I think more and more becoming more dominant within the different industries within the United States. So the question here is, are you ready to be purchased? If the time is now, can you say yes? Or would you lose an opportunity, or would you not be able to get the full value because of the back office? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And also, if you're looking to purchase a business, these are things you really need to pay attention to, because we have seen the consequences that when you purchase a business and you only look at the numbers and you do not look at the back office, the issues that can happen. Okay, so we'll talk about that as well. All right. So what do I mean by back office? Some of you are like, well, what do you mean by back office? I do know what back office means, but let me go just a little deeper to make sure that we all understand what I'm talking about here, okay? When I'm saying back office, I'm not talking about sales and marketing. They're part of the construction of the business, like your business in full. They're part of it, very vital parts. But what I'm talking about is the back end. It's the systems, right? From the moment a client goes live with you, what's the handoff? What's happening in the back for fulfillment, right? What's keeping the company running behind the scenes? So that's what I'm talking about in regards to the back office. All right. Is everyone good on that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Love it. Okay. So this is going to, we're going to be talking for 45 minutes. And when we're talking together, I want you to feel like totally come in and connect here. Like give us some of your feedback as well. So quick self-check. Okay. This is something I want you to just pause a little bit. If someone wanted to buy your business tomorrow, would you be ready? So from a scale of 1 to 5, drop it in the chat, the number, right? 1, absolutely not ready, right? 2, far from ready. Like 3, somewhat ready. 4, almost there, or 5, fully ready. So just being really honest with yourself, right? Every owner has to be real with themselves, right? Is this something that truly, where am I? Okay. I'm like, there's so many chats going on. I wish I could see them, but
Oh, no, it's great. You're getting a lot of 3s, some 2s, some 1s.
okay.
Another 2, 4. All right, Lucas.
Love it.
Another 1. Yeah, we're seeing a pretty wide range. I'd love to know, for those of you who have responded, or who haven't yet, just give us a little color and context there. What's the driving force behind the number that you added?
Yeah. So Maddy, so I'm a little fresh here. Should I pause a little longer? Can we keep
I think you're good. I think we can keep responding in the chat, and we will incorporate that into the discussion.
Okay, love it. So take it away, guys.
So I think there's a wide range, and you're going to see throughout this discussion, everyone, the reason for this presentation that Thais is providing is because you might be, misinterpreting your readiness, which is possible. You might actually be more ready than you think. Or you may not be aware of the importance of some aspects of readiness, including back office. So those are some of the things that Thais is going to touch on today. I think, Thais, you can move on.
All right, let's get going. All right, so we're going to talk about back office, and I almost say it's almost like that dirty underwear drawer. Okay, what I'm talking about is it's super easy to mask the outside. right? You've maybe experienced this where the outside looks so good. You're like, oh my gosh, branding, incredible, marketing, amazing. The outside looks incredible. But then when you go look inside, you got some like, so not as great, right? And sometimes there's this embarrassment that you might feel. And I will tell you because of my personal experience, right? Where you'd be like, first I was like, oh yeah, I actually don't remember this, or I don't actually know my numbers here, or it's just like it's intimate because it's truly going to identify. It's going to give you the real pulse of your business. It's almost like wearing a mask, right? So I think people may do it naturally, like, oh, they have it so put together, and then you kind of like read news articles and you're like, oh, there was like some really major thing I would have never thought, right? And so I think that's just human, it's just very human, right? We look put together. But the goal here is that you don't only look good on the outside, but inside you're just as healthy. So that's what we're really going to talk about. So this is going to take some of you just actually going and making decisions, right? To go and let's look deep into it. All right. Now, really quick about us, so you know where we're getting this data from. So our company's been around for 5 years. We have over 800,000 hours of roofing admin support. This is all we do. We just do it over and over. We've also seen 127% efficiency growth. So what we were saying is we're looking at patterns. We're obsessed with patterns and obsessed with data. So the information I'm providing you today is based on data, a lot of it. Okay, it's by actually experiencing what happens when our clients get purchased, because several of them have, and also what happens when someone purchases a business that's really unhealthy, and then we have to step in and help them get it healthy, right? So this is from real experience. And we've also been in over 40 plus markets. And so this is really our knowledge here. So just kind of, again, here we have really deep, like I have a lot of deep experience in private equity because our clients get purchased by private equity quite often, and we're part of their journey. It's actually really cool when we're with them and then they get purchased and we continue with the private equity companies, right? So we have both that knowledge. And then also when clients purchase unhealthy companies and ask us to step in to help them become healthy. So very interesting dynamic there that we have. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. All right. You feeling good, everybody?
Everyone looks great.
Okay, love it. All right. All right. So in the next 45 minutes, this is what's going to take place. We're going to talk about understanding the consequence of not doing this. There's always a consequence, always, good or bad. And in this case, I'm going to talk about the bad. There's always consequences, right? And diagnosing the health of your back office. So how do you really diagnose it? What are you looking like? And for those looking to acquire, what are you really looking for? And then 3, do now actions that deliver. So I'm giving you actionable things that you can do that immediately will deliver value right away. Okay. So they're not just like long-term gain. This is like, you can stop the video right away and just go out there and start making some epic moves. Now, that's just a quick recap of what the journey is. And let's talk about why private equity loves strong back offices. Okay. Why do they love them? Do you guys know why private equity loves the back office? Anyone? Give me your thoughts. Why is a clean back office so important to private equity? I can't really see the responses.
So some of the responses are that it reduces issues, that it's hard to build, so maybe it reflects a state of maturity. And Paula had said it reduces issues with personnel. Mike says it's not dependent on one person, so you don't have that, over leveraged state. Pablo says because it makes the transition easier. Jose says because of efficiency. So very good answers there.
Love it. Okay, very good, because you're all right. So literally why this matters. Oh, did I go? Okay, why this all matters. So guys, I went back and forth. So great. So private equity loves it because they're looking for what's the bet on this, right? So they're going to bet on this. And so they're trying to measure risk. So if the back office is clear and in a healthy place, it really reduces the risk. And so that is very valuable. And so I'm going to show with you a little bit about why this matters. Why does having a nice, like a clear, chaos-free back office matter? Let's go through it. All right. So I'm showing you this Ferrari because you're going to go two ways. You can literally only have two ways here. Okay. So a strong back office makes your business easier to run today. So this isn't just to get you ready for being purchased in the future, but it's actually going to make your life so much better today. Less chaos, more simplicity. If you look at this Ferrari, it's a beautiful piece of machinery, right? It's simple. When I look at it, I'm like, I don't think chaos, I think simplicity. And what do I think as well? It runs faster, it moves faster. The data tells us that on average, every team member in your company spends a minimum of 8 hours of admin tasks per week. So like, let's say your sales reps, right? Or anything like that. If you're any of your team that should be maybe focused on other areas, they're spending about 8 hours minimum of admin work. When if you add, like we have some clients that have lots of team members. And when you do all the numbers, it's like they spend almost 200 days out of the year, if you add up all the team's hours, just doing admin. So what happens if you remove chaos, make it simple? What will happen? You'll run faster and you'll be smoother and less headaches. That's what we're looking for, right? Simplicity. So it also makes it more attractive. It goes back to being attractive. So, and valuable. Buyers tomorrow. So all of us maybe have sold a car before, right? And so if you take really good care of your vehicle, right? If you take good care of it, you keep it well tuned, it's clean, it's going to be more valuable, right? Versus the same exact model, built the same exact year, and one person totally chaotic, doesn't care, has so many dents, it's like crazy inside. It's the same vehicle, same year, it's not going to have the same value. So I kind of just want you to understand like the business side of it too. So it can be the two companies, same year, one's totally better in the internal, it's going to be worth a lot more. Okay. And scalability. So it grows without breaking. So if you're purchasing a business, these are things you're going to look at. How is the inside? Is there visibility? Is there clarity? Right? And then also organized. So higher confidence. I don't know about you. Have you ever had a moment where you feel totally in the dark? Like you're like, I don't know. So you feel less confident, right? I think that's just natural. Like if you don't know something, you feel less confident. But then when you do know something, you're like, oh, I got this. Da, 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 right? Doesn't matter what anyone tells you, like, no, I know, right? You can kind of like, I like to say back in my days, I used to have chonga days. I don't know if that's like, I would just like put on my hoops and like ready to like, you know, throw down. So I'm like, oh no, don't mess with my numbers. I totally got this, right? Or I got this information. Doesn't matter what you tell me, I know my thing, right? But there's moments when people are asking questions that you should know, and you're like, I don't know. You feel lack of confidence, competence, right? And so having a good organized back office provides you that confidence, not only to you as the owner, but to your entire team, because it will overflow. Smoother deals, better valuation. Okay. Are you guys feeling like this is at all connecting?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The comments are reflecting that. Adriana said that confidence makes everything run smoother and lighter. And yeah, there's a lot of confirmation that it's making sense.
Love it. Okay. So that was just kind of a quick recap here. Again, strong back office. It's attractive, organized. It just makes life so much easier. Now, unnecessary pain, chaos, the negative consequences. Okay. Unnecessary pain, chaos. I don't know if you've ever experienced a hoarder vehicle before. I have. It's actually disgusting. Okay. So, on the outside from afar, the car looks good. Looks like a normal car, right? Tinted windows, like from afar, looks like it's functional. It's attractive, right? And then you get a little closer and you're like, what the heck? What? And this right here is a good representation of those who feel like they're constantly firefighting, emails, spreadsheets, missing files. Like you wake up in chaos. Like you built a business to have peace, to have freedom, or to be part of a team where you feel like equipped and you find freedom. But instead, every time you wake up, you're like, oh my gosh, pure chaos. And the thing that maybe runs through your mind is, I'll get to it one day. I'll get to it organized. But then it just becomes a snowball. So just a snowball effect, right? And so there's consequences to this. And so let's go through it. you're growing, but profits keep slipping through the cracks, right? We've seen this where like a company is like, oh yeah, yeah, I sold, I think this happens a lot too. When I know when I first started, I was like, yeah, we sold this thousands of dollars. And then when I got like with a consultant and coach and we go through it, they're like, no, you were working for free. You made zero negative dollars. Okay. And you're like, right? Because I didn't have clarity on my numbers. I didn't even know. I was just like, revenue came in, expenses go out, right? That's the thing. But then you're like, no, you're not adding hours. You're not adding your team. But there's so many variables that are important to know truly what your numbers are, to see if we're really making a profit. When I literally my first year, I found out I was like working for negative. I should have, if I would have like been more logical, I'd be like, I'm going to give up now and I'm just going to go back to my corporate life, right? Because I'm working for 100 negative, right? Day. So I'm like, it's wild, right? So that's kind of what's happening. And then clients and employees lose confidence because things just fall apart behind the scenes. I have both experienced this in my corporate life, and I have both experienced this in my current, like our company, right? So the pain that comes to as owners and also the team when these things happen, right? And so there's consequences to them, stress, and also buyers, they're going to look closely at these things. They see chaos, they don't see value. Like there can be, again, this car may look great on the outside, pricing might just be right, but the amount of pain to get this cleaned up, cleared up, and everything else, I don't even know. There may be cockroaches, maybe there's some rats in there, right? There's like way more issues that I'm even able to see. No way, I don't want this. They're gonna walk away. They're gonna walk away, typically, right? So there's always consequences. I always say short-term pain, long-term gain. It's so many times we hear stories of business owners that have been in business for like 10, 15 years, and they're still literally running their business like on, I don't know. And it's like, they're just, it's daunting, right? Because they choose to not take the short-term pain, which is you got to confront yourself. So that's really what we're doing as business owners here. All right, there's that. Choose your hard, simplicity or chaos. Have you guys all heard that thing where it's like, choose your hard, diabetes, or going to the gym, right? It's like, they're both hard, like diabetes, because you're eating a ton of like choosing not to eat sugar because it's so delicious, right? Or choosing to go to the gym, right? Like there's a consequence to both sides, right? Choose your hard. They're both hard. One, I'm going to have to deal with a bunch of health issues when I'm older, right? Maybe I'm going to die earlier because I'm not, X, Y, and Z. Or I get to do the hard thing, which is wake up early, which I don't like. Like sometimes I don't enjoy, leg day, and I'm in pain, but there's choose your hard, right? So it's the same thing here. Choose your hard, simplicity or chaos. At all. Is this connecting with you guys as well? Do you feel like you're getting some value in this topic so far?
Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of support in the chat.
Okay, awesome. All right. Have you felt this in your business? So drop your answer in the chat. If you said yes to any of the things I mentioned, that you wake up and you're like, I'm in chaos mode, or, if you said yes to any of these things, and again, it's a little intimate, right? Because you're kind of having to look yourself in the mirror. But I want you to know that literally every business owner under the sun has gone through this. I love listening to podcasts of like how I built this, because it talks a lot about founders who have built some incredible businesses. And I love how all of them have a story, and all of them have had setbacks, right? And so setbacks, and this is also one of the main things why companies in the US sometimes don't, only 4% hit seven figures, because it's tough, right? But you got to do the hard things because there's so much goodness when you do. All right. I can't see the chats, but
Oh yeah. Lots of yes. That yeah, Daniela said the hard things bring so much value. Absolutely. And one of my favorite lines is, you haven't failed because you're not done yet, right? So don't get convinced that the place that you're at is the place that you're staying. There is a degree of optimism that you need a dose of every day to continue with the hard that you chose.
Totally. And I always say it's not against us, it's for us, right? It's not against us, it's for us. So when these setbacks, when these difficult things, it's like sometimes like, why me? Instead, shift it to be like, ah, this is for me, not against me, right? And if you learn the lesson fast, right, you can go then next round. I always say those who compete in the Olympics, right? It's like sometimes the ones that win, it's not that they didn't fall, they just got up faster, right? And so it's like, we just get up faster. I've probably fallen more than anybody in this chat. Like I've fallen so many times, but I just choose to get up faster, right? Or I have people that are speaking, get up fast. Cause it's like, it's all about get up fast, right? Cause I'm going to fall again soon. Like it's just bound to happen and you're constantly learning, right? So, but just get up fast. And so it's not against us, it's for us, right? And so I think that really is a big thing as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's your mindset and it will flow into your team, into your company, right? And so super important there as well. All right, what buyers look for? Let's talk about that. We're almost right to the middle and then we're almost there. Okay, buyers are really looking for operations, systems that run smoothly without you. All right, I'm going to talk to you about a consequence here. This right here. We've experienced where someone purchases a company, okay, they're like, oh my gosh, numbers look amazing. Profit, incredible. On paper, amazing, right? And so all the financials looks really, really good. Looks like a great buy, okay? And you're like, there's no way. You're like, you're seeing all the gold, like all the money in your face. But then you're not realizing that the only way this business works and the way it was built is to run only by the owner. Everything is in the owner's brain. So how can you do that? Right? So operations, that's something huge you need to make sure you're questioning when you're going to purchase a company or if you're currently wanting to get ready in the future to sell your business. So right now, does your system run smoothly without you? If you go on vacation, does it work? If you're, let's say, in the hospital for a month, does your family still eat? Right? So it's like, these are things that we need to know, right? These are questions you want to know. Technology, tools that connect and make life easier. You might be like, I'm not a tech person. That's okay. Get someone on your team that's a tech person, right? But you cannot, like, the future is today and it is tech, right? So yeah, it's just connect. What makes your life easier? It really makes your life easier. It's amazing what technology does. And then predictability, right? Can the business double or triple without doubling headaches and costs? So that's really what the buyers are looking at, right? Okay, if I purchase this business, am I able to duplicate, like triple it, right? Without me having to add additional costs. So these are all things by having systems and the back end running well, these are things that they're interested in. Okay, so let's just kind of recap there. The right back office feels like this. Okay, I want you to just get the feeling in. So it's just imagine the chaos. All of us have experienced it when things are just chaotic. Okay. Have you guys ever misplaced your keys? Where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm super late for this doctor's appointment, or I'm late to this wedding because I can't find my car keys. I don't know if you've ever had that. Or it's maybe your wallet, or maybe your passport. And you're like, oh my God, and you're just, it's constant, you're misplacing it, right? The right back office feels like this. It's easy to find what you need. It's like you always keep your key in that same place. Anytime, any place, you know, right where it's at, hasn't moved. Right? Your wallet, anytime, any place, you know, right where it's at, hasn't moved. And so it's bringing just clarity and simplicity, which brings you peace, right? I am the master at not knowing where my keys were. Like I literally, it was just, and if I probably added all the hours and minutes of the lots of years that I dealt with that, it's probably a lot of hours, right? A lot of unnecessary pain. Also, the right back office feels like this. Processes are simple and consistent. So our company, we completely deconstructed and reconstructed, and this was 100% intentional, right? We learned that what we were actually doing was not working. It did not provide simplicity. It was not consistency. Okay. So we literally had to, so this is the question, right? Is the process simple? Is it consistent? So what did that mean? Simplicity and consistency will bring you peace, not only to you, but to your team, where your team can show up and they know, okay, this is what I'm going to do. We're only going to work with these 2 things, not 700 different things, or a bunch of different CRMs, or a bunch of this and that. We're not a customizable, boutique. It is like something scalable. It's repetition. It just brings peace, scalability, right? And everyone knows their role. That's a really big thing. So right back office feels like this. Everyone on your team knows their role. They're not questioning. And this is one area that we really are still even improving in our business. We want to make sure people know their roles, and we want to make sure they're on the right seat too, right? So that's super important. Do you have the right people on your bus, and are they sitting in the right seat? And so there's been some really cool tools here. If you're trying to figure that out for your company, there's some really great exams. So like with us, we just tapped into Working Genius. We just had some of our team take those exams, and it's showing us that we are in the right place where we are. So there's just awesome tools that you can really assess that in your team, right? So everyone in your team knows their roles, they're in the right places, and everyone feels confident about what they're doing. The right back office feels like this. You know your numbers. Like you can literally ask me, like, how many clients? What's your sales? What's your revenue? What's the, right? It's, your numbers. You're not like, oh, let me figure that out. And then you're like going to like all your Excels and like trying to find it manually, right? So you're really, really your numbers. Simplicity. You know your numbers because you have a product that's also simple, right? A service that's simple. Simplicity. So this was very hard for us, and it was a really intense decision, and I'll share a little story there, but we used to be fully boutique. It was all customizable, right? And it looked like it worked, right? But after stepping back and doing a 200,000-foot view, it's not consistent. It's not scalable, right? It causes too much pain and consequence, right? And so we intentionally sunset, right? Meaning we brought in a process that's way more like just speed, simple, right? And so all of these, but it was scary because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if everything goes wrong, right? Do it scared. Know your numbers, right? Know really that you are doing exactly what you're like, your numbers, your revenue, your sales, all the things, what you need to hit. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. All right. So warning signs you're not ready. Okay. This right here is really like, if you're really pumped, you're like, I'm really good, but these are just some warning signs for you to pay attention to when you're going to buy a business, or to pay attention to in your current business, and how you can actually make this change. Okay. So warning signs you're not ready. CRM, customer relationship management tool. You don't have one, or the one you have is a mess. Okay. This is a question for you guys. If you're doing a service or a product, especially when you're doing a service, and even, your products as well, how are you managing your client information? When a sale goes live, right? How are you managing that? The story, the history, all of that data gives you patterns that you can use to continue to grow and scale. So these are warning signs. If you're going to purchase a roofing company, for example, we deal with roofing contractors, or any other type of company, where are they managing their projects? If it's on paper and pen, that's wild, right? I won't be like, you got to just, step it back. Okay. And if that's you and you're like, I run it on paper and pen because it just feels so much more comfortable, that's wild. Okay. You gotta get a little uncomfortable and outsource it maybe to someone to come in and scan your files and input it into the system, right? There's so many, you can hate actually that stuff, no problem, but there's so many other things that you can, you can literally hire someone to come into your office, scan it for you if they need, or you can send it to them and they can input it, right? So just like, if this is you and you're like, oh, I don't have a client relations management tool. Everything's in my head, or everything's in paper and pen. You're not ready. So, but the cool thing, it's an easy fix. Like you have so many awesome options, right? Warning signs you're not ready, missing records, team files are incomplete or outdated. If we go to right now, who are your team members? And then you're like, oh, I don't have any, it's myself. Okay, cool. Is your information updated, right? So just kind of like, is your information updated? Or do you have missing information? Do you have missing information about your clients? Is it easy for you to simply find details that you need? Missing records. This is things that private equity are looking for as well. And if you're looking to purchase, this is something you need to make sure as well. Where is this company keeping files? Are they updated? Are they complete? Right? Contract confusion. So agreements like live in a random folder. If you're buying a company, or if this is you and you're like, oh, my agreements, I print them out and they're inside a basket, you got to make a decision, right? It's like, what happens if something horrible, like Florida, what's a hurricane happens, or like, out of the blue, a tornado, like it's gone, right? And so what you're doing is you're being proactive to prevent certain consequences that you do not need to go through, but you're choosing to maybe go through them because of being a little bit uncomfortable. You might be so comfortable with paper and pen, but you got to get a little uncomfortable. Okay. Also, no SOPs, no standard operating procedures. Everything lives in your head. You're like, oh yeah. Do like it's, and if you're an entrepreneur, you typically are not a very good teacher sometimes. Like you're kind of like, you're typically an inventor, you're out there, you're like, I don't want to teach people this. So just, it seems super painful, but the cool thing is there's some awesome tech that can help you there too. Even AI, you can talk into the AI, it will write it out for you, right? So there's some amazing technology out there as well. So those are things also that companies are looking for, okay? Now, quick self-check. Do you currently have a CRM for your business? A client relationship tool? Any tool? Like that's digital though, not paper and pen. Drop your answer in the chat. And if you don't, why not? Too complicated, too expensive, haven't made it a priority, don't know where to start. I'm also double fisting here. I have water and coffee. So like,
I have
these
two
people are gonna
drinks
think I'm crazy.
also.
I'm like, I got coffee here, water here.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're getting some yeses in the chat. Good on you all for using your CRMs. Bravo. Yeah, hard to keep all the team engaged. Adriana, I really like that comment. Job Nimbus. Okay. Yeah, making sure that the team is consistently using the CRM, that's critical, and making sure that those, mentors on your team and folks who've been there for a long time, that you get them on board is really critical.
Oh yeah, totally. It's almost like you got to infuse your new culture. And of course, I don't know if you've ever read that book, like Someone Moved My Cheese. I think that's the name of the book. It's like, especially if you've been so used to a certain way, it's going to be a little difficult. As the owner, you're going to have to realize it is going to be a shift, right? But the benefits of having it is going to be so great for them and for the company's health as well.
Yeah. And you'll see, for your sales team, for example, their velocity is going to increase as they start to use the tool. And that's going to be bait for those who are a little slower moving to get on board.
100%. Totally. All right. I'm going to keep rolling. Does that sound good, Maddy?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, CRM readiness level of confidence. So if you have a CRM and you're literally using it how it needs to be, okay, and even baby steps, like start inputting your new projects in there, right? Just actually be intentional about it. Your CRM isn't going to work by itself. The CRM, the client relations management tool, is only as good as the data. Okay. So when you have that, you're going to have so much confidence. So when you're like, oh, my CRM is up to date, I know it's well, right? You're going to have so much confidence. Now, these are some key metrics that are really important that you're going to be able to measure with the tools that you use. And that also private equity is looking at too, and you as a buyer should look at too. You want to look at proposal to close ratio, especially if you're selling, anything. So proposal sent versus contract signed, or how long do your leads stay in your pipeline? Example, If you have a product, how long should a lead stay in the pipeline? Is it in the roofing world, right? If a lead comes in, best practice is 7 days. And I'll show you kind of a photo of that actually, if I kind of think I can go back. Nope, can't go back there. Sorry. Okay, so you also want to look at task completion rate. So what amount of your products are completed on time, right? Or delivered on time, or the client outcome is delivered on time, right? You want to know these details because if you start seeing the pattern, hey, it seems like these right here did not deliver on time, X, Y, and Z, you can then get curious because you don't want to just do band-aid resolutions, right? We've been there at this, that was my story. Like that's what it was, everything was ran on like band-aid. You want to do legacy changes. So the task completion rate is going to give you data. So what went wrong here and how can we intentionally see what happened so we can go ahead and adjust. This will allow you to build a legacy just system because you're fixing the root cause versus just the symptom. Okay. Also, onboarding completion time. So days it takes to get a client fully onboarded, right? So that can look differently. So for us, is how long does it take to get a client onboarded? So before in our past, it used to take 4 weeks. Now it takes 10 days, right? And so and just simply by looking at the data, you can see what can help you get to your goal, right? What are the consequences of not? Those things. You're looking for pattern. Data leads the path. Data doesn't lie, emotions do. I don't know if you've ever had where the client comes and they're like, everything's wrong, everything's on fire. And you're like, wait, we did like 1,000 tasks, or like you did just like, there was 1,000 units. You're complaining about the one that's like a 0.0, just percentage. And then you bring the truth to them. So data doesn't lie. Emotions do, right? Stories do, but data doesn't, right? And so that's what we're really looking at here. Data typically does not lie, right? So the data will help you make decisions that are not emotional, but they're actually factual, and they can help you really direct the path where you need to go. Maybe you're spending too much on marketing. Maybe you're this, that, maybe it's really giving you the pulse of your business. And then client retention, churn rate, that's really important. What if you're selling a product, like how many times is that client coming back, or how many times, or do we need to, purchase more of that item? Just in every single business, the CRM is providing you these details, right? And then you're able to make really educated decisions for the health of your business. The goal here of having a back office that's simple, chaos-free is really healthy. You want a healthy business, right? Healthy business, healthy owner, healthy team. That's the goal, right? And so that's what we're looking at there. Now, truly, before messy files, stressed owners, you get home and you're like, don't even want to talk to your kids or your spouse. You're like, get out of my face. You don't want to be or animals. You're like, I'm just too exhausted, right? It's like, and then after, when you remove those chaos, you're just like, oh, that feels good. Wake up in the morning with a totally different, fresh view on life. You're also way better for everybody else. So if you're a parent, you're just a better parent because you're happier. Your kids are happier because they have a happier parent, right? When you're not very happy, your kids aren't very happy, your spouse typically isn't very happy because those things are overflowing to them. So there is just really an impact when you can choose and be intentional to make these decisions, to make these changes, to sunset things. It's scary, but so worth it. Okay. Now that's the main thing, guys. We're almost done. We're almost at the finale. So we talked about what are the consequences. Also, we talked about what happens when you choose to go a different direction. We could, choose to put these things in place, the benefits both for the buyer and when you're selling, and then how to start closing these gaps. So if you're like, how do I close these gaps? I know, Thais, you mentioned there's all these different things. We're going to go a little bit more in deep in there. Okay. So tools that help. Number one, any business, when it's going to be purchased or you're looking to buy it, you're going to want to look at their accounting software right? accounting software that integrates. One of the big ones is QuickBooks. There's many more out there, but QuickBooks tends to be a solid one, both for, banks or anyone that's really looking and analyzing. That it tends to be a very great tool. Okay, if it feels overwhelming to you, you're not currently using it, and you're like, I use Zelle. Okay, cool. You're not gonna, it's okay. Just set your foundation up so you can grow. It's a lot more difficult when you grow, and then you have to rebuild your foundation. So you can build your foundation now. It's going to be get yourself good tools, accounting software, super important. Payroll and HR system. Even if it's just you right now in your business, go through payroll, right? Like run it through like QuickBooks payroll, right? There's just these different platforms that you can use. So make sure that's clear. Make sure that's healthy. That's going to help with your financials. Also, contract storage in one place. When anyone completes something, like there's a contract signed with both vendors or your clients, make sure you keep them in a place that they're always there. So a CRM is a great place. You can input your contracts there, right? The CRM is like a hub. It's the place you can go and you can find almost everything, instead of like going to a million other places, right? Just go to one space. It's your hub. Okay. Dashboards. So for easy visibility, like if you're in the blue collar world, Jobber, Job Nimbus, AccuLinks, there's plenty of them. These are dashboards, right? CRMs that are able to provide you information that you need. And then that's that. Those are really important tools for your business that are simple and create clarity, but they only work as good as the data. That means you got to input the details into it, right? So if you're your only team member right now, you got to make sure you are being intentional with inputting the information. And if you have a team, you need to we also make sure there's accountability, that everyone is doing their due diligence to be part of the movement. Okay. Now, super important, who owns what? So every process needs an owner, right? So every file needs a clear place, and everyone should know their role. Have you ever seen, I really like those shows that are like realistic shows. Like, I don't know, have you ever seen a hoarder show? Anybody? Where you're like, the house looks like a normal house, and then you go in and you're like, there's like 7 dead cats in there. And, it's like surprise, right? It's crazy, right? It's overwhelming, but it's reality. This happens. And this actually happens a lot to businesses, right? Where it's like it's everywhere. But you can, and if that's you, it's totally okay. Ask for help, right? You can have, consultants and specialists come and get you aligned, but you can just simply also make these decisions, start cleaning up. So clean your files. Make sure there's clear owners to those locations. And then everyone should know their role, meaning if you have a team, everyone should know clearly their role. And if you are the current only role, know what you own, and then make sure you know what systems you're using to help you be efficient in the other roles. Consistency equals trust. And then make sure it's visible. Everything you want to be visible. As an owner, you want to have clarity. As a team member, you want to have clarity. You want to know what we're looking at, what it means to win, what it means not to win, right? You want to have clarity. This is also a huge part of what we've seen our clients scale from 3 million to 47 million in just a short span of 5 years. We have literally seen our contractors, because we're with them on the journey, go super fast growth by simply choosing to adjust their back office, and then also make things simple, get the right tools, and in our case, like have the right support helping them. Okay. So use your dashboards, sunset what's not working right now, look at your current products and the things that you offer. What does not really provide value? What cannot scale? What is the most, for us, for example, we have so many. We're like, we're not double down on what you're good at and get rid of what you're not fantastic at. Retire old habits. Forget tools that no longer serve your growth, paper and pen. Use it for your personal, but does not serve your business well, to keep everything in paper and pen. Run reports on time, right? Be accountable to yourself, to your, like, run the reports. Know the real information, and no surprises. Numbers always match, meaning like the worst of which I've seen is like companies like, well, I think that, and then you look at your numbers and they don't match. Like, be accountable. The more simplicity, less chaos, you can see everything clearly inside. And really, this is how clients have scaled. It's pretty epic. So make it visible. And here's a quick rundown here. Okay. Clear info builds confidence. You want to be competent. You don't just want to be confident, right? We all have that person, they seem so confident, but you're like, they are so incompetent. They don't know what they're saying, right? So it's like, you don't just want to be confident, you want to be competent. You want to really know the information, that you really know the depths of the insides, and you can do that by making it simple. We're almost done. All right, so what happens if you ignore this? Well, you already know. Buyers lose confidence, valuation goes down. Again, look back at that vehicle, same year. One is hoarder, one is not. One is more valuable, one is not, even though they're the same exact thing. Deals drag on, you take hidden risks, right? And growth becomes stressful and not scalable. You didn't come into business for this. It's not why you decided to do this. And the life you really want, you can truly have. You just got to do hard things. So, does this resonate with you here? I want you to kind of look at it. If a buyer asks for your numbers today, you as a business owner, could you send it to them with full confidence right now? Or even if you're on this and you're like, I'm still getting ready to do a business, think of it in your personal life. If someone asks you, audit your personal life, what's your finances look like? Would you be able to give a clear number right now without having to even look at your bank statement or your bank account, your app? You're like, oh no, da, da, da. Right? And so that's kind of like, this is also applicable for our own personal lives, right? And so, how are you running your back end in your home, right? And your off and your company, like, so you're the CEO of your life, right? So that's one thing there in your home. So this is important information for you to question and ask too, and me too, because I'm always needing accountability in this area, right? This is why we have in our company great people that love numbers, good at it, to keep us accountable. That's not my jam, right? And so I love numbers, but they're really analyzing. So very much needed. So this right here, I can't read the chats, but are people answer, Maddy?
Yeah, absolutely. Some people are saying that not yet organized, at this level. Some people are also saying yes, that it was a rocky road to get there, and others still, are on their journey to be able to move forward that quickly.
Cool. It's all a journey, right?
It
And
is.
so we keep going in circles, or we climb up the mountain. Or we climb up, or we keep going, right? And so there's something amazing waiting for us. So here's your 30-day action plan. These are actions. We are landing the plane, ladies and gentlemen. This is the finale, okay? So you have landed at your location. Welcome. Now, this right here is the 30-day action plan. And week one, I challenge you to audit your gaps, okay? Sunset what is not working. So just simple, go and audit your gaps. Just sit down and just go, okay, this is my business. Where are my gaps right now? Do you currently have visibility of the current, when a job goes live, do you know what the current process is? Do you know it? No, I don't. Okay, cool. That's a gap there, right? Do you know the numbers? That's a gap there. Cool. So just start identifying the gaps. Okay. Then week 2, reconcile and update files. So, okay, you identified your gaps. So just start with one. Like, for example, if you're dealing with lead intake data, right? They're still in your database past, X amount of days. Go look at them, clean up the file. Oh, this one's dead actually. Well, this one we closed. I don't know why it's still here. Right, clean it up. It's like your underwear drawer, you're kind of going through it and you're like, this one's really old. It's probably need to get rid of, right? Like this is not reliving, right? So it's just kind of clean it up, right? Again, it's like an intimate thing. You're going to have to look at yourself and look at the data and just make those decisions, right? Okay. Week 3, automate one key process. It can be the most simple thing right now. Even if it's like a small win, like if your business, you're like, man, I have so much to automate. Even if you're like, I'm going to automate that, like automation that I get a little reminder to keep X, Y, and Z, like a little calendar reminder. That's an automation, right? And so just like do small wins, they help you make larger wins. So automate one key process. Oh, when leads are coming in, I want there to be X, Y, and Z, or like when a contract is signed, I want to, make sure you can, where can you automate something to make your life a little easier? And we can use so much technology too. If you don't know, go to your bot, love chat GP, right? Go to your bot and ask it to ask it for feedback. So it's a great time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. We got an, great strategist available to like support with the right prompting, right? So use that. And then week 4, build a simple dashboard. Okay. So if you're like, everything right now is paper and pen for me, cool. Make it digital. Even if it's like, I don't know, I don't have the ability to like choose a digital platform. What does that mean? Hey, go test out some, right? Use the bot. Say, hey, this is my industry, da 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 da, and use this prompt. This is my industry. I'm currently looking for a platform that does X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, da da da. What do you recommend? And then the bot's going to give you some cool recommendations, and then go ahead and schedule some appointments with those CRM tools, right? And see which one best fits you. Pricing, all that good stuff. Just making those decisions versus not making any decisions at all. And if you're like, I don't want to have, it's just like, I want to get digital. Okay, cool. Use a Google Doc for now, right? Until you can go to the next step. And that, my friends, we're done. So the back office readiness checklist for the buyer and seller. So contracts are in place, books reconciled, HR files complete. Those are things you want to do. Policies written down digitally, everything digitally, folks. Okay. So like if you're like, hey, I have the SOPs in my brain. Cool. Write it digitally. Put it on a Google Doc, right? Everything digitally, like think digitally. And that's going to be all things that private equity is looking for. And also if you're purchasing a business, you should definitely make sure that these things are all digital as well. Your back office is the silent stage. Most people don't see it, but they always feel it. Now, key rules here. We went over that together. And what's the one thing you'll take action with first? So if you want, you can totally drop it in the chat. But what's one key thing that you can take action with first? If that's right now, you're like, I don't have a CRM, actually, let me go, I'm going to go to chat and I'm going to ask it, right? Like, what are some great tools here? And maybe schedule some time to connect with those CRMs, or I'm going to look at my gaps right now. Like, what are some actionable things that you can do? Both if you're in your business, right? Also in your personal, because if you're here in this, you're like, this is applicable to my personal life. Okay, cool. What are some things that you can take action with first, right? I'll let you guys drop some there. And some of you with your personal life, you're like, I'm going to do something hard. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go do the Pilates class I don't want to do. I'm going to go, go run. Those are still things that are moving you forward, propelling you forward, right? We're propelling forward. And I always say this is one, I was meeting one time with, at the end of our lives, we will all, everybody, every single one of us, there's only 2 things that happen if you make it to the very end. You go, hey, life was tough, but I did it. I tried it. No regret. Like I literally tried what's hard, right? And the percentage of people that actually get to do that, it's like about 5%. 95% of the data shows that people get to that age and they go, I wish I would have, or I never took the risk, or I didn't do this and I didn't make the change. There's so much regret. But you don't get to that ending just because you get it by the small decisions we make every day. So every day, where do you want to be at the end, right? And so that's something that really helps me kind of like when we have to make these hard decisions that are scary, right? At the end of my day, I want to be that person who goes, man, life was hard. It was tough at moments, but I did it, right? And so it starts every single day. It's a choice. It's intentionality. Now, those are the key things you can do right away. And also one thing that our team did, because they're like incredible, you can actually, we're going to provide this to you. There's a quiz for you if you want. It's technically for the roofing contractors, but it's applicable to any of you, right? In business. So you can go ahead and you can take the quiz. This link takes you directly to our quiz. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Can you guys see it?
You can see it. Yeah. And you can
Okay,
post it
wonderful.
in the chat.
All
And we'll
right.
include it
And
in
you
the
can,
follow-up.
wonderful. And you can start the quiz. Okay. And it's going to ask you questions from the time a contract is signed. How long does it usually take until the job is finished and you've collected payment? It's something you should probably know, right? So it's going to allow you to go, I know exact average numbers, number of days. So it's going to ask you these questions that regardless if you're a roofing contractor or not, they're applicable, right? And at the very end, it's going to give you the result. It's going to give you, hey, you looking good. But we do recommend you do these action items, or hey, you're looking kind of rough. We recommend these actionable items. So this is actually a live test that you can go and do. It gives you the full breakdown. And so it just adds a lot of value. Regardless if you're roofing or not, it's applicable to you. It literally just takes it's 10 questions, super simple. So less than 90 seconds to complete. And the value is pretty epic. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to be with you guys. Thank you for having me. And yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for putting your contact information in there, Thais. And if you would like to take that quiz, we'll include that in the follow-up email. And you can see that we'll also provide you with Thais's contact information and that of her team. What a really informative session. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope everyone, took away a lot of value from this. There will be a recording posted, not only sent to you via email, but also posted on YouTube. So you'll get to watch it as many times as you wish.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.
Yeah.